So, what does setting an intention actually mean? For a long time, I'm not sure why, but I didn't quite get it. People would say, set an intention, and I would sort of get fogged up, going like, what am I supposed to do? So, until I figured out how to do it, is when things got a little more clear. So, first of all, I want to share with you what we decided to do this week. And it was something that I'm really proud of, and that is that me and my boys went walking every morning before their school time. And this was really big because what had started out as not a very good thing ended up being a really great thing. So Monday morning, I'm waking up. My son has given me a couple of kisses, and I was really, that always makes me feel super loved. I was going to say excited, but it wasn't that. It was more just very endearing. And then I thought, okay, I got to get up. It's time for me to get ready, get the kids going, and what have you. He walks out the door, and I just happened to stay in bed a few minutes longer and then thought, okay, time to get up. As I'm walking in front of the bedroom doors, I hear my front door. And all of a sudden, I realize, like, I go out there and I'm like, hello? And I call out his name, and he's not answering me. So then I start going down the stairs, and I notice the front door is unlocked. I open the door, and it's my son who's in front of our house walking down the sidewalk. And I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And he's like, I'm going for a walk. Well, my heart dropped, of course, and brought him back in, and we sat down and we talked about it. And he said, I want to go for a walk. And I thought, okay, I had no, it was early enough in the day that we could do it and still make it back before school had to, get started. So I threw on some sweats and I said, okay, let's go for a walk. And you can't walk. He was walking without his shoes. I go, you can't walk without any shoes on, for safety reasons. So we went for a walk. That evening, he says to me, can we go for a walk tomorrow morning? I go, sure. We just have to get up at a certain time so that we could get out of the house and make it back before school starts with you getting your breakfast and morning routine done. Anyway, long story short, really proud of us because we did it for the rest of the week. We got up in time, we got our sweats on, whatever, shorts, and then we just went for a walk, and we actually had our dog join us, which he's an older dog. He's about 14 years old, and he's loved it as well. But we really only go for 20 minutes. So I set my timer on my phone, and then I start walking for 10 minutes with them and pausing as we need to, and then we make it back. But the reason I said this, because middle of the week, I decided that we could include a positive habit when we do this because it's the fresh air, it's nice and cool and crisp, and there's nobody really out. It's about 6:30 in the morning when we're doing this. So I told the kids, I said, what if we were to kind of think about the rest of our day? And I didn't use the word intention because that would be really confusing. I said, what if we were to think about our day and break it down into segments? And I don't even know if I use the word segments, but break it down into the morning before we start school, during the time we have school, our lunchtime, after lunch, dinner and family time, and then right before we go to bed. So those were what I'm going to share with you are going to be a way that you can start setting your intention. So number one is that you're going to actually want to break down your day into these various segments. You're going to want to break it down into the segments, and then what you're going to want to do is you're going to then think about what you want those various areas in your life to look like. And so, for example, I shared with the kids that I wanted them to play around with the words of, wouldn't it be nice? And this is really sort of manifesting in a way to your future. And manifesting just basically means is that you're sort of visually creating something that you would like to experience. Kind of sounds a little fancy sometimes, but it really isn't. So what you want to do is create this sort of visual expectation of what you want it to look like. This is why, for some reason, these words sort of got stuck where I couldn't figure out what they were trying to mean. And that's really what it is. It's sort of a future expectation that would be positive and creative for you to have. So I shared with the kids, wouldn't it be nice if during your school day you were able to really get everything that the teacher was saying, and you were able to get all your work done, and you were able to feel like everything came really easily to you? And they were like, yeah, that would be cool. And I broke it down, and so we usually have dinner time and Netflix that we watch. And so I said, wouldn't it be nice if during dinner we get to really have such a fun time just connecting and being together as a family and being just a really cool experience to be together. And they were like, yeah. And I think part of it, they were like, that's what we do anyway. But now what happens is the third part of this. And I want to share it with you because this is really the key. When you do these quote unquote intentions or setting a creative visual expectation for yourself in the future for the day, your brain is actually going to go out and seek it. It's like when you're going to buy a particular type of car and then that's all you see. You only see this car and it's the one that kind of gets your attention. Like before you didn't see these white sedans and all of a sudden that's all you see is white sedans, right? So what happens is our environment has so much stimulant going on and stimuli that it's very difficult for our brain to absorb it all. It is very taxing for it. So what it does, it creates sort of like a tunnel vision where it's like, I'm going to only look at these certain things. And so when you set this intention, what you're doing is you're helping your brain move into a place where all of a sudden it's going to be looking for that positive experience so that when there is the incident that occurs during the day, like the spill milk incident, because I'm talking about children, your brain's not going to focus on that as its primary. As a matter of fact, it's going to figure out a way to not focus on that because that's not what its intention is for you. Its intention is for you to have whatever you set it out to be, whether it was like connecting, a fun experience, a joyful lunch, where everyone is able to help with picking up all the dishes and no one is complaining about putting the dishes in the dishwasher, or you can relate this all to work. So I wanted to share that with you because I think it's one of the key things. So you have three things. One is break down your day into these segments. Number two, before the day starts, like I did in the morning walk with the kids, is start breaking down all of those with that creative visual expectation. Wouldn't it be nice? You could start that out to kind of get you going. And then number three, knowing that the brain, which is amazing, is going to be focusing on that for you. Instead of it happening to you, you're going to start looking at how are you going to create that. And if you do that every single day, you're going to find you're going to have a really positive experience. All right, my name is Sonia Barker, and I am a business coach, and this is what I do. I enjoy sharing with people to helping people get results. And if there's comments and letting me know, go ahead and share them below. I'd love to hear about your expectations of what you are intentionally creating. Have a wonderful day.